DARE essay requirements. As you know, you are to write a DARE essay. You're going to be typing up your essay, and let me read over the requirements of this essay as written by Officer Brad. Your DARE essay should explain what you have learned during the DARE program and why this is so important for young people to know. Use specific examples from your DARE booklet, videos, and class presentations. How will what you learned in DARE impact your choices in the future? There's a lot to digest in this, and you know there's going to be one person that's selected to read theirs in front of the audience during the DARE celebration. So let's first break this down a little bit to think about what it's asking you to write about. For starters, I'm going to highlight this passage that says what you learned during the DARE program and why this is important. So as you think about how we write reading response essays, this almost lends itself to that sort of format. What have you learned and why is this so important? The resources you can use are from your DARE booklet, videos, and class presentations, but then there's this secondary part to your essay. How will what you learned in DARE impact your choices in the future? So what this is really getting at, and to be successful in writing this, you can't write it just like a reading response. It's about you. It needs to be personal and it needs to have your voice in there to be able to be read as a successful essay. So in contrast to some of the reading responses that you have written, you really need to think about what this program means to you. It needs to be personal. So your essay is going to be different than anybody else's. And that's the goal for this. I'm going to share a couple last year that I thought were successful, and you're going to be able to hear their personal voice. That's why I'm going to share it, because I know yours will not sound like the one that I am reading. Listen to this introduction. Whenever I see multiple police cars next to a car, the cop talking to the person in the window, I always wonder what happened. I know most of the time it's just speeding or a car crash, but what if it's not? What if someone was drunk driving or smoking marijuana or taking drugs? I then think, why would these people do this? Don't they know the consequences? Did they learn about DARE? There are many things I've learned while doing DARE this year. I've learned about the DARE decision-making model, not to smoke cigarettes and marijuana, not to drink, not to take drugs, and to resist. I learned even more about these things I already knew not to do, but I now have a better reason not to. And she goes in to detail talking about the different things that she has learned. But then notice this last paragraph also talking about how you're going to use what you learned, as well as a conclusion. So you can notice the format. This is a little different than a reading response format because it's personal to you, and also that last part of how will you use what you learned in DARE to impact the choices you make in the future. You can go ahead and type your response in the document. I think that will be easier for Officer Brad to read. Good luck. You can get started.